In September 1774, Alfonso de Liguori, elderly, bedridden, in the town of Arienzo, fell into a trance. He was unresponsive for the better part of a day.
When he finally came around, he said something almost incomprehensible. He had just been holding vigil at the deathbed of Pope Clement XIV in Rome, who was in his final hours. Rome was 4 days' journey away.
The people holding their own vigil in Alfonso's room in Arienzo had watched him lying motionless in his bed. But in Rome, members of the papal household, people with no connection to Alfonso's companions in Arienzo, were saying that they had seen him, spoken with him.
He had been there at the Pope's side. Clement XIV died that same day.
2 rooms, 2 sets of witnesses, 1 man. The accounts from both locations arrived independently, neither aware of what the other was saying, and they matched. Christianity, ancient and modern, is brimming with stories that strain belief. One type of miracle, especially strange, is bilocation.
Bilocation? Being in 2 places at once?
2 or more. Let's just say multiple. Usually 2, but etymologically yes. Bi means 2, location means place.
Bilocation, to be in 2 places. It's impossible.
Or rather, it's miraculous. Mary was a Spanish nun who never left her convent in Ágreda, Spain.
And yet she claimed to have been transported over 500 times to the American Southwest to evangelize indigenous peoples.
When Franciscan missionaries physically arrived in what is now New Mexico and Texas in the 1620s, they encountered Humano Indians who already knew Catholic prayers, requested baptism eagerly, and described in detail a young woman in a blue habit who had been visiting and teaching them.
The missionaries documented this in formal reports sent to Spain. Church investigators then questioned Mary, who accurately described the landscape, peoples, and geography she had never physically seen.
The accounts of bilocators like Mary of Ágreda or of Alfonso de Liguori are compelling, but they are not undeniable. They are difficult to dismiss.
But skeptics will remain skeptical about them.
The resurrection of Jesus Christ himself on the first Easter is not beyond doubt. That's the nature of the miraculous. The first strangeness about the miraculous is not the miraculous event itself, the healing of a paralytic or the mystic's levitation. The first strangeness is that doubt is an integral part of what makes a miracle what it is.
We might ask ourselves why this is the case, and part of the answer is found in the light miracles shed on the nature and purpose of our humanity.
At least according to the Christian vision.
For us, to doubt is human, because to believe is human, to trust, to hold conviction, to be convinced even, but not to know. To be human is to be essentially ignorant.
The most important ancient philosopher said, ignorance was the highest knowledge.
Socrates in 399 BC. The wise man knows that he does not know.
Not to know. For all the things we know, there is always more to know. To know, truly, is to know that we do not know, that we don't have certainty.
Wisdom is recognizing ignorance, most especially about the things for which certainty is most valuable. What happens after we die? Where do we come from before we are born? Is life meaningful? Do love and justice, goodness, truth, and freedom transcend my desire for them? Are they final? Are they ultimate? Or is their importance just illusory? Does my life matter in the end? Is suffering worth something? Or is this brief and momentary blip of being all really truly pointless?
The meaning of our being itself is dubitable. We cannot know for sure whether our life, our being here, is meaningful finally or not. This means that our being is something like a miracle. It did not have to be. There's nothing about our being here that is necessary. It is, as the philosophers say, contingent. The miracle of the bilocator tells us something about ourselves. Like any other Christian wonder, since Jesus of Nazareth turned water into wine,
His first miracle,
it tells us that we are here in order to doubt.
we exist in order to doubt.
We must have the space of doubt, even amidst the miraculous, in the middle of the miracle of our being, the miracle of goodness. the miracle of beauty, the miracle of joy, the miracle of meaning, the miracles of the wonder worker, the miracles of the saint. To be human is to have the space of doubt. In the Christian vision of things, God placed us in a world where we must learn to trust Him in order to achieve our fullness. Our fullness, our completeness, is tied to coordinating with God to accomplish His purpose with the world.
God created the world incomplete so that we can partner with Him in it.
That's the idea. That's what we are. Humans are made to bring out of the world the infinite potential God built into it, to steer the world into greater and greater goodness. But to do this, we have to discern what is good, distinguishing it from what is bad. And we cannot do that without first discerning and doing the best thing, entrusting ourselves wholly to Him.
To be human, we must be able, in other words, to wrestle with doubt, to struggle with the possibilities of life's meaning. We must be free to make a choice about what's good and therefore about trust.
The riddle of the tree and the snake at the beginning of Scripture is about just this. It says that humanity has been stuck at the first moment of creation, stuck at the test of temptation from the beginning. That human life as a whole is nothing but this moment of testing before the tree of knowledge. And doubt is an integral part of this test. We have to be able to doubt in order to trust.
We exist to doubt. Doubt is human.
In effect, by failing the test, by not passing through doubt to trust, we stalled the creation story on its opening page. Creation as a whole awaited the new human pair who will pass the test and steer creation into the ever greater fullness for which it is made. This pair is the new Adam and Eve, Jesus and his mother Mary. They said yes to God through the trial of doubt, and so they reignited the creation project within which history moves. Already with his mother, God brought the mere creature into the sphere of creative cooperation.
She is the creature in its most pure, most elemental, most receptive form. She receives the Creator and gives herself wholly over to Him.
She is like us, a mere creature. Her Son, the Lord, is the most complete creature, but because He is the creature who is God.
Lots to ponder there.
Lots, but let's keep going. To be human is to pass through doubt into trust.
What does this have to do with bilocation?
You'll have to trust me.
Ah, I get it.
Good.
To be human is also to be somewhere. Without being somewhere, you are nowhere. You are not. But not just physically, you're also somewhere historically, somewhere culturally. You inhabit a particular moment in time, a particular place in the world, and that shapes, more deeply than you might realize, what you find believable.
The philosopher Heidegger had a word for this, Dasein. It's German. Da means there, Sein means being. To be human, he said, is to be there. Dasein, located, embodied, embedded. And you're never there alone. You're always there with, mit Dasein, with a community, inside a tradition, possessing a shared sense of what the world is and how it works, being with. That shared sense tells you, quietly and constantly, what's possible and what isn't.
Let's compare three very different ways of being there.
A modern secular Westerner first. Post-Christian, atheist, or just practically speaking, not really aware of God day to day, tends to experience the world as inert, as raw material. Things are what they appear to be, no more. The world doesn't speak, it doesn't mean, it waits to be used. That's all it is or can be.
Even if you're a believer, you probably know what this feels like from the inside. You go about your day, your projects, your decisions, your routines, mostly as if God weren't a factor. Not because you've rejected Him, but rather because you are secular. That's the water you swim in.
Now think about a pre-Christian Irish Celt. The world he inhabits is alive, dangerous, whispering. Every stream has a spirit, every hill a history, every darkness something in it. He doesn't choose to believe this the way you might choose a book at the library. It's just what the world is to him.
And the medieval Christian? Somewhere between the two. Their Christianity landed on top of that pagan world and transformed it. And the enchantment was still there, yet profoundly refigured. The sacred and the physical were still close together. A miracle wasn't a rupture in the natural order. It was the natural order opening up to what it truly is by being opened up to itself, to its purpose in a new way by God. The medieval Christian is pagan and Christian.
The modern Christian is different. Functionally, we've absorbed the secular world's assumptions, even as we've kept the faith. God is real, but private. Sacred, but separate from a world that appears to get along well without him. We believe, and then we're surprised when we're asked to believe in miracles. The modern Christian is atheist and Christian.
The medieval Christian would have found bilocation astonishing but not unthinkable. The modern Christian, even a devout one, tends to doubt first. That incredulity wasn't reasoned into us, it was inherited. It is our place, our tradition.
Which raises a question worth sitting with. What if our skepticism about the miraculous tells us more about our moment in history than it does about what's actually possible?
We moderns believe that to be means to be somewhere, one stable place. The miracle of bilocation challenges, it breaks that assumption.
Miraculous stories like bilocation cut against and interrogate. They problematize our modern secularity, our functional atheism.
This means that if we can understand the mystery of bilocation, if we can comprehend the way of inhabiting the world that conceives it as possible, we might be able to perceive the limitations, the blind spots of our specifically modern way of being human that struggles to believe it.
We might be better able to ask ourselves why we experience the world the way we do.
And we might be surprised at how shallow it can be. The first step, the final goal of this visual essay, is putting bilocation in place. In the Christian story, like all traditional stories, place is divided in two, heaven and earth. Earth is the kind of place with which humans are familiar. Expanded, it is essentially the visible world, the world keyed to our senses. It is the world of embodied physical existence. Heaven is another kind of place altogether. It is the spiritual place. It is the place of spiritual beings, angels, dominions, principalities, powers. It has properties that are fundamentally different than that of earth.
Though distinct, these two realms, with their two kinds of beings, are not wholly different. They are not irreconcilable. They are alienated, however, but they are meant to be one, a multitude united.
In the Christian story, the human being is the key to creation's unification. The human partakes of both worlds, the spiritual and the physical. The human is, in traditional language, body and soul. Our physicality does not exhaust our being, and yet our spiritual dimension, our soul, is not all that we are. We are both as one.
The human is the key that unlocks the mystery of the creation.
The human unites heaven and earth, and this is written into human nature. The human is the fruitful union of opposites made for one another, male and female. A living image of heaven and earth separated at the beginning in order to be brought together, an enriched, fuller unity.
The human is itself a story that riddles the meaning of things.
The human, in all it does, embodies the spiritual meaning of the world. Consider art, technology, and religion.
Art brings down into the material world spiritual meaning, making the visible world symbolic, an embodiment of what is otherwise invisible.
Technological skill puts the potency hidden in the world's order out into the open, exposing it, making it available for human use.
And religion brings the physical world of human culture into a deeper realm of its truth, where the spiritual and the physical are reunited as one. Religion is what we call sacramental action. The central symbols of this action are the bread, transformed grain, and wine, transformed grape. Natural symbols of life's sustenance and life's exuberant excess, its play, which are, through the ritual, stripped completely bare in their creaturehood, exposed in their origin and source, the word of the Father that speaks them into being. The word that they are in the place where they are more truly themselves than they are able themselves to be. Christians call this sacramental act at the center of their religion, Eucharist, from Eucharistia in Greek, thanksgiving.
Christian miracle must be read in light of the sacramental vision of things at the heart of Christianity.
In turn, sacramental vision can be better seen by looking at miracles like bilocation. You can ponder the miracle of bilocation and see along it to the sacramental mystery that Christianity says is the clearest word about the meaning of things.
We should really do a video on the sacraments.
We should. Now for the upshot. Let's pull all these threads together. Are you ready?
Sure.
Bilocation is an impossibility within the present order of things. If a real phenomenon, it is the presencing of a new order, what Christians call the new heavens and new earth, the world existing in a liberated state, where the alienation of earth and heaven is overcome, where the physical partakes of the properties of the spiritual, where place becomes spiritualized, not limited by the rules of the alienated physicality which is our status quo. In this way of being, this redeemed, transfigured, sacralized way of being, one can become multiplied in place, bilocate, while being still one.
Bilocation is an occurrence, essentially, of the exuberance of being, the wine of the new creation spilling onto the earth out of heavenly chalices. Like other Christian miracles, it is a moment of heavenly excess splashing into the world. It is a moment of disclosure, where a piece of the world, the body of a saint, becomes a window onto what the whole world will be at the end of time.
The bilocating saint manifests the spiritual potential hidden within the physical, the capacity of an earth dweller to abide the heavenly without bursting apart. Yes, bilocation speaks of the secret and sacramental purpose of the earthly, to bear the heavenly, to be united with it, to be transfigured by it, accomplishing what the scriptures call apokatastasis panton, the reunification of all the order of things through Christ.
Bilocating saint is a little bit more human than we yet are.
However strange, he is a living, breathing presentation of what Christians call the good news.
That's the golden thread, isn't it?
That's the golden thread.